All right, I'm back. So like I was telling some of you guys that logged on earlier, we're gonna lift some weights today. So obviously, if you have weights, okay, you could grab a few different, these are 10 pounds, but you could grab a few different varieties of weight. If you don't have weights, not an issue. Something as simple as a couple of cans of soup will work. Okay, it's a bit light, but depending on your strength level, that's fine. If you want to go a little heavier, I also have a couple of jugs of vinegar here. So just use whatever you can find. If not, resistance bands. If absolutely there's nothing, I mean, you could grab a couple of stones. You can grab a brick or two from outside. What you do want to do though is you want to make sure that they're both the same weight. Okay, don't grab a jug that's full of water and another one that's half full, because then you'll be developing one muscle more than the other. So I think we have our St. Mike's crew. We're going to be filming this for the Filament Hadley guys on YouTube again. So hi to them as well. And we'll get started here. So what we're going to do, similar to our workout that we did on Tuesday, where we did cardio type stuff in groups of 2. We're going to do groups of 2 exercises and then rest and then do them over. We're going to do the classic kind of strength training model, in that we're going to do 10 repetitions for 3 sets. So 3 blocks of 10 repetitions. So I'll go over that. The only other thing that you need, let me check through my exercise list again. You'll need something to lie on. So either, just for the first one, to be honest, you can just use like a footstool. That's what I'm going to use, footstool. If you have an actual weight bench, that's great. If not, you can actually go off the floor, but you're a bit limited when you go off the floor because your elbows won't go all the way down, but it's fine to just go flat off the floor. For most of my exercises today, I'm going to use the trusty vinegar jugs, okay? And you're just going to lie back so that your back is flat. You're going to hold the jugs or the weights or whatever you have, and you're going to lift them up over your chest, between your eyes and your chest, and that's 1 repetition. And back down, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now we're going to stand up. You always want to start lighter as opposed to heavier, okay? Always start light and work your way up. Okay, next we're going to do a simple squat. You're going to hold them in your hand at your waist. If you want a bit more of a challenge, hold them up over your head, and we're just going to squat down nice and low. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You want to keep your back nice and flat when you're doing a squat. You don't want to bend at the waist. You want to make sure you're bending at the knees only. Okay? We're going to go back to bench press. Slightly different angle, but same thing. Okay, jugs or weights or bands or whatever you got. And we'll do 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And back up. This is the worst part for me. I hate bending down and standing up. Now we'll go back to our squat. Here we go, over your head, and again, like with the HIIT workouts, start with the harder version, and if it gets too hard, go to the easier. Six, 7, 8, 9, 10. I don't know if those creaks and cracks are coming through the audio, but that's old age. Hopefully you guys don't hear that. absolutely important to remember, speed is not an issue. You don't want to rush through these. You want to be in complete control all the way up and all the way down on all of these exercises. So we're going to our last set of bench. Up we go. 1. And that's 10. That's it for the stool or the bench or whatever. So you can push that out of your way. And we'll go back to our last set of squats. And then we're done there. I think I have 8 exercises total. This will be the end of the second, which I'm no math teacher, but is approximately a quarter of the way through. 8, 9, 10. Good. Now we'll take a little break in between sets. Our next 2 exercises are going to be a little taxing as well. Push-ups, good old-fashioned push-ups, no weight on this. If you really wanted to, you could put like a resistance band around you, but a good old standard push-up, still I feel one of the best strength exercises out there. Push-up, and then we're going to do a lunge with the weights, okay? So, down into a push-up position. Again, do whatever version you can do. Always need to push yourself a bit though, and we're just going to do 10 push-ups, nice and easy. 1. There we go. 10, piece of cake, no problems. Grab your weights or your soup cans or your jugs. You don't want to hold them at your waist now. We're just going to do a front lunge. We're going to do 10 with the same leg. So I'm going left leg out. That's 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go, and now switch legs, right leg. Balance is part of it. You don't want to be lurching and falling all over. Takes a bit longer because it's a single leg exercise. But hey, the one thing with this whole crisis, we have time. And we're going back to a push-up. Let's crank out 10. And go. All right. Good. It is very humid and hot. I'm gonna go left leg first again. You do whatever. Just make sure you're always doing the exact same number of reps on each leg. Balance. And for sure, this will work you even without weight. If you need to do more, do more. If these are too many, do less. That's 10. Good. We got one more set of each of those. Sets are the big blocks, reps are the actual number of times you do each exercise. So we're doing 3 sets, 10 repetitions. And here we go with push-ups again. This is it for push-ups. Good. Whew. It does not take much to sweat on a day like today. And we're back to lunges. Then we're actually halfway through the workout. A little quicker today, like I told you guys that logged on early. And switch legs for me, that was 10. Always a good idea to count in your head to keep track. And that's 10. Good. Take a little bit of an extra break right now. About a minute normally. So what we're doing now is a bit of a superset. We're stacking 2 exercises together. It's just one technique of weightlifting. This is kind of a basic weightlifting. Did we lose a participant partway through? Someone logged off maybe? Next we're going to do arm curls. Okay, get those guns ready for tank top season, and a calf raise. These 2 are quite simple, not quite as taxing, not quite as exhausting. So for an arm curl, I'll turn sideways. You want to hold your elbows by your side and pull the weight up until your fist is basically at your chin. Okay, we're going to do them both together. The key is keeping those elbows straight, and when you come down, you want to go all the way back down. Okay, don't drop the weight. That could lead to injury. You want your feet about shoulder width apart, chest up nice and tall, and just pull that weight up to your shoulders. You might find it a little heavy by the end, and that's good. Next we're going to do a calf raise. You can't see me. I just unfortunately don't have the room. But basically all you're going to do is hold the weight at your side and go up on your tiptoes as high as you can for 1. And up 2. Probably the easiest one we get to do today. Might want to do a few more of these. This is pretty lightweight for a calf raise. Most leg exercises you end up doing a bit more weight. Your legs are significantly stronger than your arms. So maybe rip out 12 or 15 or whatever you think. Okay, but you'll feel it nonetheless. And again, all of these can be done without even weight. Okay, if you just provide resistance on your own, you'll get a benefit from it. So, back to curls. Good, and then we'll go back to calf raises right away. There's no need to really delay. If you're doing similar muscle groups, like if we're doing another arm exercise right away, you want to give your muscles a bit of a break. But since we're going from arms to legs, there's no real need. You can just jump right in. You do not want to do weights every day. You want to make sure that your body has time to rest and recover. And back to curls for the last one. As far as picking a weight that works for you, it should be starting to get taxing on the last set by the last 4 or 5. By that I mean, you know, this is possibly a bit light for me, simply because I can tell that I'm still pretty easily able to lift that. You don't want to like be shaking and not being able to do it on your last one, but it should be starting to feel really tight and a little tough, especially the last set, the last 4 or 5. That's a good rule of thumb for weight. Back to calf raises. Yeah, oftentimes I've seen it lots of times where, especially it seems particularly young gentlemen, young boys, walk into the weight room and grab something quite heavy and lift it once and be like, whatever, that was light, no problem, I could lift that. But just lifting it once isn't really indicative of whether or not you're able to lift that weight. You gotta be able to sustain it for some reps, okay? So if it's a weight that you struggle with a little bit the first time you try it, it's much too heavy for you. The other thing you always have to remember about specifically lifting weights is that there is a definite technique to it, okay? If you get the technique of lifting weights down, you will increase your weight and your strength much quicker. If you lift weight that's too heavy, so I know the camera's not the greatest, but you know, if you're rocking your hips to do a curl, well, you're not really working the intended muscle, okay? When you're doing this, I guess you're still helping your body a little bit, but not in the way that you're trying to target. So you're much better to have something that allows you to hit the specific group that you're looking to hit than to put too much weight on. And again, it seems typical of young boys for whatever reason. I guess it's testosterone. You know, very concerned with how much weight they're lifting, but it shouldn't really be a concern. Next one, we're gonna bend at the waist. Okay, try and get your upper body as parallel to the floor as you can. We're gonna hold our weights at the side and we're gonna row it up. Okay, so this is a bent over row. It's actually to work your back. Even though it's your arms lifting the weights, you're working your back. And you really want to try and get your shoulder blades pinched sort of together at the top. Okay, you want to pretend like you're trying to touch your shoulder blades together at the top. So we'll do 10, 3. And what you want to watch for on that is that you're bringing, it works slightly different if my elbows are out like this when I'm doing it, or if they're tucked in at my side when I'm doing it. They're both going to work your back, but they're going to work it in different ways. It's almost 2 different exercises. So just pick one and go with it. Don't switch it up because you want to tire those muscles out a little bit. That's what we're here to do. Next one's gonna be a tricep extension. So we're gonna flip these jugs behind our back, or if you have weights behind, elbows pointed in front of you. Again, you want everything to stay static except your forearms. Your arms, elbows should stay the same, and just lift that weight up over your head. You might need a slightly lighter weight for this. It's a little tougher than the curl. And this will work your tricep. These are called tricep extensions. Make sure you breathe. The rule of thumb is that while you're working harder, which is the lift on this, you exhale. Inhale when you come back down. Exhale. Okay, I lost count, but I think that's roughly around 10. And we're going back to back rows. So, bent over, hang those weights down and up. I just realized my dog is sleeping on the couch behind me. great support network. Nothing like having someone take a nap beside you while you work out to motivate you. Right, Rocky? Pretty hot for him too, I guess. And back, tricep extensions, 10 of these. We got one more set of rows, and then this one and one more set of triceps. Do a quick stretch. And then you guys can go enjoy the sunshine that's out there or enjoy your online classes. Good. One more set of rows. Here we go. Good. And one more set of extensions. Good. That's it for your weight training. So that was the heavy lifting, literally this time. That's the hard work of the workout today. Whip through it probably in about a bit less than 20 minutes, 20 maybe tops. Again, key points to remember. All of this stuff can be done with household items, so that's key point number one. So when people say I can't work out without a, $800 a year gym membership, 100% false, okay? Running is 100% free, push-ups are 100% free, sit-ups are free, most stuff is free if you want it to be. If the gym motivates you, that's great. When gyms reopen, do what you gotta do, but it is all accomplishable at home for free. Some of these things, I try, I'm not always able to, and you can't be too hard on yourself when you're not able to, but try and get in a routine so that you do, 10 or 20 or 30 push-ups a day, 10 or 20 or 30 squats a day, maybe not with weights, maybe just, on air. I've heard some athletes, that every time they brush their teeth, they do 20 squats, or I had heard of one guy that every time he walked through a door frame, he forced himself to do 5 squats or drop down and do 5 push-ups. So whatever it takes to keep you active. We'll do a quick stretch here. I'll stretch while I talk. We'll just do next. I didn't cut my head off the camera this time. Sorry about that. Again, don't stretch too extensively if you plan on doing a bunch of physical activity after this. If you're going for a big bike ride or a big swim, hopefully some of you guys are getting out swimming today. You don't want to overstretch until kind of the end of your muscle work period. Some of you, especially if you use some weight that exceeded your limits a little bit, you might be a bit sore tomorrow and maybe even still more so the next day. So Saturday you might wake up and feel some aches in places that you don't normally. That's entirely normal. Those are your muscles recovering. In a lot of ways, that's a good pain as long as you don't overdo it too much. And you never, especially adolescents, guys, okay? You never want to lift heavy weights. You should never be doing something to failure, which means that you get to a point where you can't lift it anymore. It's dangerous on developing bodies. So wait till you're kind of done growing a little bit to do those super, don't be lifting 1,200 pounds like the mountain did the other day just yet, okay? There's time for that. Willem, that can wait, okay? A few Frankensteins. And again, our muscles are warm, but not super cardio warm, so don't overdo these either, okay? I know I've got a pretty good sweat going. Touch your toes. Little groin stretch. And you know what? Super important, in my opinion, part of a balanced fitness regime is to do a little bit of strength work, even if it is just only air squats and lunges and push-ups and sit-ups and chin-ups. Just body weight stuff is great. But if you want to have a well-rounded fitness regime, you want to incorporate some type of strength training in there. Okay, not just cardio. Running's great, phenomenal, but it's a specific type of training for a specific thing. You know, a lot of people think that cardio is the only way to, if you want to lose a bit of weight, just do cardio and that's the only thing that you want to do. It's not true, because again, muscle will burn fat as well. So if you can get more muscle in your body, it'll attack some of that fat. And it's just, you want everything well-rounded. Okay, you just don't want to do one body part either, ever. There's an ongoing joke, you know, that all you really need to do in the gym is chest and arms, because you want big biceps and a big chest, and you know, you don't want to develop your legs at all. Not true. We know the bigger muscles in our body are in our legs. If you're gonna play any sport or run or anything, you need those leg muscles nice and strong. So that's gonna be it for me today, guys. Any questions, comments, concerns? I will try, Abby, to figure out how to get this thing into your calendar. I don't know what that means or what that is, but I will see if my tech guru, i.e. Mr. Satinstein, can help me out with that. Aside from that, have a great weekend, guys. It's supposed to be decent, not great weather. A little cooler as of the weekend, but try and get outside, get active, you know, get out canoeing, hiking, running, biking, swimming, fishing, do whatever you can do. Get out and get active. Take care, guys. Have a good weekend.
Bye, Mr. Bye.
See you guys.